If it's not fixed, don't broke it.
Can you remember now those childhood days gone by? You woke up with the morning sun. It was warm and alive and fun. I'm a roll, don't turn around. I'm a
Welcome, friends, fans, and enemies, to another Zane-Destiny video. This is going to be another update on our yellow progression series, and straight off the bat, did absolutely terrible. Uh, so, if you've seen the last video, you probably saw the excitement when I pulled an Omnimon's defeat. And then I started doing some looking around and I thought, oh, regular Omnimon's Vault is kind of cheap for a playset. I could maximize on some purple cards in a yellow deck. Oh, Mastermon that evolves from a yellow. You're going to see what I wanted to do and I suffered for it. So plenty of bad decisions were made. So let's just go straight into the deck profile. This is a bit late. The tournament was on Sunday, by the way. Over the weekend, I was cat sitting for my best friend, and yesterday, bank holiday, I had a really good day. But unfortunately, I had no time to do a video. But again, I had a really good day yesterday. But onto the deck profile. First, get to the babies. I did up Upamon, so I did miss him last week as I didn't have enough draw power. And I did put in some Pikmon because I had him. Bad decision. Bad decision on him. So I like the thought of when attacking, if you have 3 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000. I thought I would have been able to get this off, especially with the Angelomon and Magnadramon combination, or even the Mastermon effect. I did not get the effect off at all, really. I missed Koromon. That's all I can say. I missed Koromon. So I'll probably do 3 Koro and 2 Uber. I probably said that last week as well, didn't I? But yeah, bad decision. Pikmon isn't ideal for my playstyle of deck. So let's get into the rookies. We'll start off with the 4 Pulsemon, of course. Yellow deck, you gotta have Pulsemon. I will always play a playset this guy. Never got his double effect where you can gain a memory and draw. I always just used him as a draw engine, so he will always be that to me. But I will always play a playset of him until something better comes out. 2 Patamon. So I did not get an effect off at all, where having 1 secure, you recover 1. So I think I will bite the bullet and reduce this down to 1 this time because he's kind of inconsistent. He's good for like I guess something a bit niche because he has an on-player recover 1. Whereas the next one, Salamon, I did bump her down to 2 because again, I wasn't getting her effect off that consistently either, where on deletion you recover 1. Mind you, there was a match where I did get it off twice, but I think I'm kind of happy with 2 Salah. I will bump Pada down to 1. You're gonna possibly scold me, but I only played 2 Bushi. Now, hear me out. Last week's tournament, everyone was playing Arata. I think it's Arata. The male protagonists, Iba, the male protagonists from Cyber Sleuth were basically rookies have to pay 1 memory to attack. It destroyed most rookie rushes, and it was my downfall quite a lot, especially when I was being memory choked last week. Hence the reason why I did bump down Bushi. And in all fairness, I didn't miss Bushi. I think the only thing I did miss was not having enough rookies this time, because I did only play a small number this time, and finishing off 2 Lopmon. Lopmon, I'm still using him as like a psychological warfare type of card, but I'm not choosing to use his draw effect that much. I'm literally looking at top of my security and I'm just leaving it, especially if it's a tamer, because it'll be a tamer for free then. Oh, pardon me. So yeah, quite a low rookie count this time, only 12. Um, yeah, I did miss some rookies, unfortunately. So, because my hope was to get at least 2 Digimon with Pikmon out, so and get enough bodies on the board, but my opponents had a lot of removal to basically boycott that. Okay, get to the champions. Of course, we do the playset of Pidamon. I don't really care about his blocking effect. I just use him for his one cost of Digivolve. I know you got 2 Ariamon, but it's always nice to have some sort of blocker. Plus, it's an angel looking type, and I kind of like that. I did play 2 Gatomon. This is the pro. Yeah, it's a promo Gatomon. So this is the one that if you got a purple Digimon in play, it becomes a blocker. So I was technically playing those 6 blockers. And it's also got an on play that if you've got 3 or 4 security, recover 1. Uh, Reliable, but I think 2 is a bit too much. So if I do decide to keep it, I'll bump it down to 1. But then it's kind of nice to hard play Unimon for a 5 cost. But then I counteracted that decision by playing 2 Repamon. So my choice for Repamon wasn't so much the Digivolution, but it's just the hard play of 3 cost, which is pretty decent for a champion in all fairness, because I mean most 3 costs are level 3 Digimon. So I could easily Digivolve into an ultimate, which did happen. It was, I wouldn't say it's consistent, but it was reliable. So I think Repamon might be a good addition. I mean, the main reason I played Repamon was to counteract the fact that I didn't have many rookies, but I still kind of suffered because the benefit of playing a rookie on a Digitama is that you'll get a free draw. So Repa could be a 1, might be a 2. Depends if I decide to keep Gatomon in and out, and I don't think I'll keep Gatomon in, to tell the truth. And the last champion, because it was cheap, was Sarmon, because I wanted to give him another chance, mostly because of his jamming effect. But he was very inconsistent. He was basically removed by other means rather than battling. So yeah, I it's a shame because it's nice to hard play him because he is relatively cheap, but just going in and attacking whilst he's got like a Digitama and a Digimon with an effect underneath. It's nice to have him, but unfortunately, I don't think this guy's going to see much play ever, unfortunately. But Repamon was an interesting choice, so that was that was a learning curve. Go to the ultimates. So I was ultimate choked a couple of times just because they were either in my security or they were at the bottom of the deck. We did play. I didn't change too much from last time, so the 2 Groundmon got its effect off once. I I'm I want to love this card, but I feel I'm not going to get his effect off as consistently as I was like. So I think I might either bump him down to 1 or I might swap him out for something completely different. Perhaps another starter deck Angewomon because she is doing me justice. She's good for just, especially when I'm playing Repamon, who's only a 3 cost, and the next turn I can just Digivolve to an Angewomon and recover 1 straight off the bat. So either I might eliminate this guy or have it a 1, but I will be upping this to 2, I think. Um, Simply because of the fact that if it does come to that after hard play, she's cheaper. So yeah, and of course, because it's a yellow, you do have to play a playset of BT3 Angewomon. Um, she, I was consistently getting off her -2 security attack, so she's always going to be a playset to me. So I'm always happy with that. And as a tech, 1 Chimeramon. So he was basically used for his destroy one of your own to delete an opponent's Digimon, which did come up once or twice, but also the fact that he's a purple that can Digivolve into straight into another purple type if I wanted to. I'm not going to use him again. He was just literally I wanted to see what I can do with him, and unfortunately, I can't do much. So yeah, I'm not going to use Chimeramon again. Okay, we get to level sixes. Of course, Magledramon. Didn't get the effect off that much, but it was nice to have. There was a few times. I need to stop saying all the time. There was times where I would attack with Magledramon only to realise I've already recovered one, so I basically avoided the effect, which was kind of silly. There was a couple of times where I've actually hard played her, Magledramon, when I had more than three security because I was desperate. Um, there I go again. There was a few times where I had all megas in my hand, and I'll show you the sort of hands I had later. And it was so consistently happening that I was getting frustrated. Uh, it is so difficult not to say or It's so difficult. Okay, I played a playset of Mastodon, so this was my mega loadout, and it suffered. So my thought process was, I may as well show them now because it'll make sense why I probably did what I did. So of course you guys saw last week that I pulled a Zwart defeat, which I was really happy about, and I ended up getting a play set, but I only played 3 of Omnimon Zwart. Now, why did I do this? I don't know. So all I thought was I could digivolve a Mastermon, get a free body on the board like a blocker or a recovery. I could potentially digivolve into Sword Defeat if it was on my hand to destroy a Tamer, because Tamer effects, especially the white ones, are kind of annoying. Plus, if I had Chimeramon in my hand, I could delete Sword Defeat to delete an opponent's Digimon as part of the effect. So not only can I defeat it at level 5, but I can delete any Digimon because of Sword Defeat. But not only that, because I had purple level 6s, I could potentially also digivolve into a level 7 Omnion's Fort, where I could trash the top 3 cards to get more potentially recovery Digimon. For example, Patamon. I'm going again. Uh, the more I point out, like I keep saying, the more I do it. So potentially trashing the top 3 cards to get more recovery Digimon in, to get more on-play effects if I did play another Mastermon, or just find any sort of way to get back from the trash. And when attacking, return level 6 to trash. What is it? I never got this effect at all, so I never bothered memorizing it. So we'll go through the digivolving that trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon whose play costs of 8 or less from your trash without. The only one I would have been able to choose would have been Chimeramon. That's kind of why I decided to tech him in to see if it was possible, and of course it was not. The when attacking effect of Omnimon's War is you may return 1 level 6 card in this card's Digivolution. So that would have been Mastermon. Digimon's Evolution to return its own turn to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less. So last week, Omnimon was everywhere. There I go again. Not only just Omnimon, but any level 6. I just thought there could have been a chance that I might have got both effects off. There might have been a chance. So I could have, if I digivolve from Mastermon to Omnimon's Vor, I'll be able to hopefully play Chimeramon from Trash, who would have hopefully been able to trash the Zort defeat at the same time when he comes out. And as I attack or return Mastermon, and the idea was there, but it was a pipe dream, unfortunately. And I'm pretty devastated about it because I got very excited when I decided to piece these together. But there's a reason why things were working as they were before, because it developed into that, whereas this was basically a step back. It was just a major step back. If I would have been able to pull something off. That would be great. But ultimately, the big issue with the level 6 here for Mastermon is a 4 cost. And if you had a tamer, yeah, you start off with 3. But if you had no other way of gaining memory, and I wasn't seeing my blinding ray at all because I didn't have the best draw power, um, yeah, you're not going to get the effects off. You're not going to be able to summon Mastermon. You're not going to be able to pull a level 4 or level 3 back from your grave. You're not going to be able to potentially Digivolve in level 7. And this annoyed me. I was playing against a red player and I opened up. It was 2-0 to them, obviously. And both games I opened up like this. That was frustrating. And I even pile shuffled as well. And I didn't like pile shuffle in like a certain pattern. I randomized it as much as I could. I did like normal shuffling, pile shuffled. It was frustrating as heck because I was like, what do I do? What can I do? I mean, even if you go first, you start off with potentially 10 memory. You start off at 0, so you can spend 10. I can't even hard play any of these, even if I wanted to. So that was absolutely frustrating. So, Heavy. Let's get onto the options because this is where things got a little interesting. So I didn't choose to play Blinding Ray that much. There was a couple of times where I was absolutely desperate and it wouldn't have mattered even if I didn't play them or not because there was no way I was able to summon a body because I was level locked out of 3, 4s, and 5s. That's a hard play, a Magnadramon, just so I had a body on the board. That was just insane. Um, I might keep this at 3 or I might bump it down to 2 because I'm starting to understand that getting rid of your own security probably isn't a good idea. Just get a bit of memory, especially if you haven't got ideal plays. Eden's Javelin, always going to keep it in my deck. I keep thinking about swapping it for Spiral Masquerade, but again, Spiral Masquerade is dependent on the number of bodies you have in the field. And currently, my playstyle and my ability, I am not retaining bodies on the field. There's so many outs for people to have that Spiral Masquerade isn't going to do much. It's going to be minus 3,000 to 1 Digimon. Whereas Eden's Javelin, I can consistently have at least 7 cards in my hand to get rid of either a decent level 5 or a blocker. Plus, it also draws 1, so I dig deeper into the deck. So Eden's Javelin is always going to be a good one for me. A nice little tech that I have already decided I'm going to bump down to 1, but I like the thought of it, is Testament. Now, a lot of people didn't even realize what this thing did, and in all fairness, I didn't either until I actually looked at it. So, security effect, which I did get off quite a few times, is you add this card to your hand and you draw 1. So that was my draw engine, basically. But also the main effect is you give one of your Digimon blocker for 3. So my thought process was give it to a level 5 or a level 6 or a level 7 with decent enough attack, give it blocker. And that should partially dissuade, or if the opponent didn't have anything ideal, then it might dissuade them from actually attacking. But I kind of like it just for its free draw, and I don't want to say it puts pressure, but if you put blocker on a 15k, they have to use their stronger monster to overturn it, or risk, or unless they want to be deleted. And then you would hopefully think that they would only be able to attack with their weaker monsters and hopefully run into a strong security effect. That's the thought process of it. So I think I will bump this down to 1. I kind of liked it. It was nice, like people wondering what it did basically. This guy, it was nice to have this interaction, but I will bump it down to 1. So it's code cracking. So security effect was completely useless, but it made the opponent have a decision. So you can probably see what I was trying to do with this whole deck now. So main effect that your opponent may trash the top of the security card. If they don't, you recover 1 regardless of what you had. So if you digivolve to Mastermon, both of you drop security. instantly, no effects. This one, your opponent makes a decision. Do they give you a recovery or do they drop one in security? And again, no effects get pulled off. So I kind of like this little techiness because it did make people think. I did end up with at least 7 security at one point, just because people were deciding to give me extra security because I didn't want to drop one of theirs. And it didn't make much difference, but it's nice to have that sort of like interaction. And again, I like the psychological aspect as well. Same thing with Lotmon. You know, you look at the top of your security and you're like, this is actually a 2k body, but it looks very strong. So you put it back down and they're a bit hesitant to attack your security because they're not too sure. Same thing in this one. Like, do they decide to give you extra recovery? I mean, my TK would be an absolute monster if that was the case. I got more cards to choose from. So I will keep this in, but I won't have to. So I'll probably bump these down to 1 each. So that was the option cards. Not much. I mean, you got the staple 2 types here. But the extra techie ones, yeah, I was kind of not pleased, but it was interesting to play them, especially when it's not something people mostly play most of the time. So this deck is very experimental, even though I wanted it to succeed. Okay, get to the tamers. We've got 3 TK and 1 Kari. So I didn't see TK enough this time, unfortunately. That's not because I was only playing 3 of them. It was because I had no draw power. Because I was starting off with high levels, I wasn't able to digivolve and draw. So I reckon if I would be able to see this guy again if I made things a lot more consistent. I'm not going to play Mastermon to a full effect again. I'm not going to play Zwart. I'll keep Defeat as like a little tech, but even then I might decide to get rid of him. Kari, I didn't get her effect off once because the hope with her would be that I start off with 3 with TK and get a +1, so that way I have 4, so I can digivolve to Mastermon if it came to it. Didn't really see her, or if I did see her, I didn't have the right amount of security to trigger the effect. And even then, I was probably wiped out before I could even do anything with it. So I kind of want to still keep Kari in because she could be good. Because I've often found, especially playing yellow where things are mostly high cost, it's difficult to do much with only 3 memory because that's basically digivolving to a War Greymon and that's it. Whereas if you had another one, you could potentially digivolve for 1 for something, or even just play like a reasonably costed option card just to give you a bit of an edge. So that was a deck profile. Utterly disappointed myself. I shouldn't have been so giddy to try out Omnimon's Vault. Basically, a yellow deck up until it gets to the megas and it goes to purple. But it was a very stupid decision on my part. So, lesson learned. I'm going to try a version 5 of this yellow deck, and whether it succeeds or not, I'm going to switch to purple because I think it's about time I did that because, well, heck, I'm already trying to play purple already. So, let's finish this video off with the booster pack I received on the day. I am not expecting the glorious luck that I had last week. There is no way I'm going to get like something equivalent to Zort defeat. I think the only thing I'm worried about now, oh gosh, the only thing I'm worried about now is if I get another Omnimon Zort, because I've already got a playset of them now. I don't particularly want any more. But let's see. So, got a Siakomon, don't play blue. Morishellmon, Troopmon. So purple on deletion, we play another Troopmon, so I need multiple of him. Get more level 4 bodies on. It's kind of like Megazoo in a way. Keramon, Monochromon, Ultimate Flare. I do believe a person with D Brigade was playing this a lot, and it's a nightmare. Garurumon, Shoutmon, Transcendent Sword. You know what? I might actually use this one because fortunately with this one, you just need either... So delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 11,000 DP or less. If you have a Digimon in play with Onimon or Greymon, other than those ones, in its name. You can delete one of 15,000 or less. And it's only a 7 cost card as well. So potentially I could play this in a... I mean, it does have a security effect to activate the main effect, so I could play this in the purple deck to tell the truth. Might be a nice little tech. Kiwiman. Arata. So this is Diabol, right? So this isn't one I was on about that holds back rookies. It's the other one. What we got? I'm not sure how I feel about this. Could he work in my current deck? I think... this is tricky now. Alright, there's two things I feel about this guy. He's a bit meta-y in a way. Well, not like complete meta, but everyone's playing Nord Lightmon. I think there was one person on Sunday playing Nord Mightmon. Someone was doing War Greymon. I was the only Mastermon yellow. There was 3 yellow decks, so it's kind of like nice seeing like different tactics. I don't know. So he has an on-attacking effect that when attacking, you may play a yellow level 3 Digimon card or a yellow Digimon card with Warrior in its type from your hand without paying its memory cost. So you either play like a yellow, a level 3. It's kind of like Magnadramon in a way that you play a yellow level 3 from your hand, or a card that's got Knight. And none of my cards has Warrior, sorry. There is it Nightmon, which is like a level 5 that you can play, and that has an on-play effect. Actually, on-play effects do activate. Hang on, where's Magnadramon? Oh, wrong one. Oh dear, it's going everywhere. So Magnadramon, yeah, the on-play effects do still activate. So that first attacking effect is exactly the same as Magnadramon. I could potentially cut that one out, but then I'd miss out on a potential recovery. Because Magnadramon, if you hard play it for 11, you recovery too. And that has bailed me out. But do they cost the same? Digivolution costs the same. It's got more power as well, so I'll be a bit more safer attacking with him. But not only that, all turns for each other Digimon you have in play, this card gets 1,000 DP. So he could potentially be more than that. So, oh man, I don't want to play him because everyone would want to play him. But then now I'm understanding why. Yeah, he's kind of almost an upgrade of Magnadramon. Actually, he technically is an upgrade of Magnadramon. Because, of course, if I hard play her for 11, I'm giving my opponent so much memory to mess around with. And even if I did recover 2 security, they're going to find a way to take that 2 security back, maybe more. And they'll have a lot more bodies on the field. So I think I'm going to have to consider this guy. Lord Nightmon. Welcome to the team. Reluctantly welcoming you to the team. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. Sorry if I disappointed you with like the regression, not progression side of the story, but I'm gonna try and make a difference next time. I've learned from my mistakes. I've learned not to flex. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. You take care now. Bye.